Hello, this is the BBC News with Fiona MacDonald. Germany says it's filling its gas storage facilities faster than expected. The largest European economy has been heavily dependent on Russian gas, but deliveries were swiftly cut back after the invasion of Ukraine. Ben Lowings reports.
Germany's economy minister, Robert Habeck, estimated that the target set for October of 85% of capacity should be reached by the start of September. Mr. Habeck said this had been achieved because of energy-saving measures and large-scale purchases from other suppliers. The aim is to have storage 95% full by November. Russia has cut gas flows on the Nord Stream 1 pipeline under the Baltic to just 20% to put pressure on European countries over their support for Ukraine.
There have been increasing calls for an EU-wide cap on the price of gas and the decoupling of the gas and electricity markets. Electricity prices have continued to rise in line with gas ones, and the Austrian Chancellor said it was time to finally stop the madness in energy markets. He added the EU must not allow President Putin to determine its electricity price every day. The Pakistani Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari says the flooding in the country is a catastrophe on a scale that he has never seen before. Speaking to the BBC, he said the rains and flash floods had affected millions of people and they were in desperate need of tents to provide shelters to the displaced. Mr Bhutto Zardari also expressed concern about the impact on crops. Nadia Naqi is a reporter with Pakistan's Dawn newspaper. She's just returned from the Sindh coast in the south. She says the flooding is the worst thing she has seen in her career as a reporter.
I had covered the earthquake and I thought the magnitude of the earthquake was too huge. But what I'm seeing now, I haven't seen this in my life. I was just thinking about those little kids who were just playing in that water. And, they were running around and telling me their home is down. They don't have a home. See, there's water here. See, there are cracks here. We don't have a roof. Their living is destroyed. Their homes are destroyed. Their lives are destroyed. So many of them have lost their loved ones.
The EU Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell says it's unlikely that all European foreign ministers will back a visa ban on all Russians at a meeting this week. A unanimous decision is needed to adopt the measure. But speaking to Austrian television, Mr Borrell said some countries would probably oppose the move. Estonia's Foreign Minister Urmas Reinsalu gave his country's position on the issue.
We should immediately close our borders to Russian Federation citizens, except, of course, humanitarian reasons, except, of course, these brave people who are members of civic resistance to Putin's regime.
World News from the BBC. Ukraine and Russia have again accused each other of shelling the town of Enerhodar, which serves the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Reports say there have been several explosions and a fire has broken out near apartment buildings. Both the power plant and the town are Russian-occupied. 6 presidential candidates in Brazil are expected to take part in a debate shortly ahead of October's election. If the right-wing president Jair Bolsonaro does take part, as sources within his campaign suggest, he'll be facing his biggest rival, the former leftist leader Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, as well as 4 other presidential hopefuls. Opinion polls suggest Mr Lula is leading the race with 47% of the vote, compared with Mr Bolsonaro, who would have around 30%. 4 professional associations representing judges across the European Union have launched legal action to try to reverse an EU decision regarding Poland. In June, the EU Commission unfroze cash grants and loans to support the Polish recovery from the COVID pandemic. The Judges' Associations argue the money should still be held back until Poland's government fully complies with European Court judgments. A black female volleyball player targeted by racial abuse during a student match in the US state of Utah has accused officials at Brigham Young University of failing to tackle unacceptable behaviour. Brigham Young officials have been condemned by the Utah state governor and others across the United States for apparently allowing Rachel Richardson and her black teammates from Duke University to be racially heckled throughout the match on Friday. This is what 2 people in Provo, where the match took place, thought of what happened.
Anybody that does that or says that needs to be banned.
Something like that should have been addressed very quickly. Obviously, there are people around this person who was screaming racial slurs. Students around should have reported to an usher to kick the